You are about to speak. Perhaps it is in a meeting at work. Perhaps it is a vulnerable thought you want to share with a friend. Or maybe you are about to post something online, something that feels truly you. And then it happens. A cold wave of fear washes over you. A voice, your own voice, whispers in your mind. What will they think? What if they judge me? What if they laugh? What if I say the wrong thing and they reject me? This feeling is so powerful, so paralyzing, that you pause, you hesitate, you edit yourself, you soften your words, or more often than not, you say nothing at all. The idea, the authentic expression, the true you, retreats back into the safety of silence. You have just been taken hostage by the fear of judgment. This is one of the most common and painful prisons in human experience. It is the invisible cage that keeps brilliant ideas from being shared. It keeps beautiful art from being created. It keeps authentic love from being expressed. You live your life walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring, constantly performing, trying to be an acceptable version of yourself. You believe that if you can just figure out the perfect way to be, the perfect thing to say, then the judgment will stop. But what if I told you that you have it backward? What if the judgment you fear from the outside is not the cause of your pain, but the result of it? What if the world is not your judge? What if it is simply your mirror? This is a fundamental principle of reality that most people never grasp. The quantum field, the intelligent space that organizes your reality, does not respond to who you are pretending to be. It responds to the dominant, underlying frequency you are broadcasting. And if your dominant frequency is a deep, abiding fear of being judged, the field, in its perfect neutrality, will arrange a reality filled with judges. Let us be very clear. The critical voices you hear on the outside are merely echoes of the critical voice that lives inside of you. Your fear of judgment is not a passive, protective mechanism. It is an active, creative force. It is a powerful broadcast. With every fearful thought about what others might think, you are sending out a clear, coherent signal into the field. The signal says, I am worthy of judgment. I am flawed. I am someone who should be criticized. The quantum field does not argue with you. It does not try to convince you of your worth. It simply says, signal received, and it begins to attract people and circumstances that will perfectly reflect your own inner belief back to you. The person who leaves a critical comment on your post, the colleague who dismisses your idea, the friend who misunderstands your heart, they are not the origin of your pain. They are messengers. They are delivering a reflection of a frequency that you are already holding. You are not a victim of their judgment. You are the source of the energy that attracts it. This can be a difficult truth to accept because it places all the power and all the responsibility back in your hands. But it is in that responsibility that your freedom lies. Think about it from a neurological perspective. Your fear of judgment is a deeply ingrained survival program. For our ancient ancestors, being rejected by the tribe meant almost certain death, so your brain is hardwired to be hypervigilant to social threats. When you anticipate judgment, your body enters a state of stress. Cortisol floods your system. Your heart rate increases. You are in a physiological state of fight or flight. This state has a distinct energetic signature. It is a frequency of contraction, of defense, of insecurity. This is the signal you are broadcasting when you are in fear. Now, imagine walking into a room full of people while broadcasting this signal. You are not projecting confidence. You are not projecting peace. You are projecting a frequency that silently screams, please don't attack me. I'm fragile. I'm scared. People's subconscious minds, their own energy fields, pick up on this signal instantly, and their own insecurities may be triggered. A person who is secure in themselves might offer compassion, but a person who is also vibrating with their own unhealed judgment will often feel an unconscious urge to mirror your frequency back to you. They will become the judge you are so afraid of, not because they are a bad person, but because you energetically called forth that aspect of them. You have been looking for the source of judgment in the eyes of others, but the source has always been hiding behind your own. This understanding is your point of liberation. The moment you realize that the source of the judgment is internal, you stop being a victim of the external world. You are no longer trying to manage the opinions of billions of people. You have only one frequency to adjust, your own. So how do we begin this profound shift? How do we move from broadcasting a frequency of fear to broadcasting a frequency of authentic self-acceptance? The process does not begin with trying to convince others of your worth. It does not begin with affirmations that you do not yet believe. It begins with a compassionate, honest inventory of your own inner world. You must identify the source code of your inner critic. Whose voice is it really? When that voice in your head whispers that you are not good enough, whose tone does it have? Is it a parent, a teacher from your childhood, a past bully, a former partner? Our inner critic is often just an internalized echo of an old, external voice that we took on as our own. Take out a journal. Write down the specific things your inner critic says. You're not smart enough for that. You're too loud, too much. Who do you think you are to try that? Your task is not to argue with these thoughts. Your task is to see them clearly, to recognize them not as truths, but as old, repeating programs. The act of witnessing them without believing them is the first step to unplugging from their power. The second step is to reclaim your energetic sovereignty. Your energy field is your sacred space. It is your personal reality. For too long, you have allowed the projected fears and judgments of others to dictate the frequency within this space. No more. You get to decide what you broadcast. Let's practice this now. Close your eyes. Imagine a beautiful shield of light forming around your entire body, about an arm's length away in all directions. It can be any color that feels strong and peaceful to you. Gold, white, electric blue. This is your energetic boundary. Understand this truth. Nothing can enter this field without your permission. No judgment, no criticism, no negativity. See it as a semi-permeable membrane. It allows love and wisdom to enter, but it effortlessly dissolves any frequency that does not match your highest good. Practice visualizing this shield each morning. It is a declaration to the universe that you are the sole authority of your energetic space. The third and most important step is to broadcast a new frequency, the frequency of self-acceptance. This is not the frequency of arrogance. It is not the frequency of "I am perfect." Those often come from a place of insecurity. This is a much quieter, deeper, and more powerful signal. Place a hand on your heart. Breathe into this space and gently, without force, introduce a simple feeling into your body. The feeling of, "It is safe to be me." Feel that. Not, "I am great" or "I am worthy." Just the simple, profound allowance to exist exactly as you are in this moment. I am allowed to be here. Feel the softening in your body as you hold this frequency. Notice the tension in your shoulders release. Notice your jaw unclench. This feeling, this frequency of allowing, is the antidote to the fear of judgment. When you truly accept yourself, you no longer need the acceptance of others so desperately. The frantic need for external validation is the very signal that attracts judgment. When you withdraw that need, the judges lose their power. From this place, you can begin to practice the as-if principle in your daily life. The version of you who fully accepts themselves does not apologize for having an opinion. They state it calmly, knowing it is valid simply because it is theirs. The version of you who feels safe to be themselves does not over-explain their choices. They trust their own inner guidance. They wear what makes them feel good, not what they think will be approved of by others. They share the idea. They post the art. They speak their truth, not with aggression, but with a quiet, unshakable peace. They do this not to get a reaction, but because it is the natural expression of who they are. Each time you make one of these small, authentic choices, you are sending a new, powerful signal to the quantum field. You are telling the universe, the old program of self-judgment is no longer running. I am broadcasting a new reality now. So what happens when this new frequency of self-acceptance becomes your dominant, stabilized baseline? The external world, which is only ever a mirror to your internal state, has no choice but to reorganize itself around your new signal. This is where the true magic unfolds. You will begin to notice a profound shift in how people respond to you. The old judges in your life will seem to lose their power. Their critical words, which once felt like arrows, will now feel like they are made of smoke. they will pass right through your coherent energy field without finding a target. This happens for two reasons. First, your new frequency no longer resonates with their need to criticize. You are no longer an energetic match for their judgment. Second, and more importantly, their approval or disapproval has become irrelevant to you. When you are the source of your own validation, the opinions of others become mere data, not a verdict on your worth. You will notice that people who thrive on judgment and criticism will naturally begin to drift out of your life. They will not find the reaction they are looking for in you, and the energetic connection will simply dissolve. In their place, new people will begin to appear. People who resonate with authenticity. People who are comfortable in their own skin and therefore comfortable with you being in yours. Your relationships will begin to be characterized by ease, mutual respect, and the freedom to be fully yourself. You will stop performing and start connecting. The immense, draining weight of constantly managing others' perceptions will lift. You will feel a lightness, a freedom, the freedom that comes from realizing you were never in their prison. You were in your own. Living this shift is a continuous, moment-to-moment practice. It is not a one-time event. There will be days, especially when you are tired or facing a new challenge, when the old program of fearing judgment will try to reactivate. An old thought will surface. An old insecurity will be triggered. The true measure of your mastery is not the absence of these old echoes. It is the speed and compassion with which you recognize them and return to your new, coherent center of self-acceptance. Think of it like tuning a radio. You have found the clear, beautiful frequency of your authentic self. Sometimes you will hit a pocket of static from an old station. Your job is not to get angry at the static. Your job is simply to gently, lovingly, and consistently retune the dial back to your chosen channel. You do not change what others think of you by arguing with them or trying to convince them of your worth. You change the reality you experience by making their opinion less important than your own peace. The search for external validation is over. You have discovered that the only approval that ever truly mattered was your own. And this internal state of acceptance is the most powerful signal you can broadcast. It tells the quantum field, I am whole, I am safe, I am enough, right here, right now. And the field, which is a perfect and loving mirror, has no choice but to arrange a reality that reflects that profound truth back to you. The judgment you feared was never the cage. The fear itself was the cage. And now you have the key. You have always had the key.